The running backs, as it's immediate pressure. Bruise, we'll see how long he can make some plays for us, as it is finally picked off to send a blitz on first down to make a play here, and play one they will not. Ball out where Chuba Hubbard is wide open and back in the end zone. The job as it's downfield and it's caught, still going. Nico Collins. Time. Throw to the outside, and it's another great throw. Field, Faust in a one-on-one, and it's just thrown over the top of the corner. Find some big plays downfield, or we get the pick out. Try to get this one over the top time. As Colts take over, they've got a play downfield as Downs will take it to the end zone. Work out a little bit better for us as Barry has to bounce off the pulling guard to throw downfield. Newsome gets in front of it. Just go with a straight run, and so far they're doing so. But a missed tackle attempt. Downs is sprinting, and that is the 5th. Stin doesn't quite work, but Young looking to run, and the ball pops out. Huge as Hodgins gets back there. Problem today, as that will be the end to it. There's a lot of errors in this one, some from the players, some from the coaching, some tactical errors. And coming off such a tumultuous game for Bryce Young in that last one, 39-29 against the Colts. We are moving in a different direction. We're going to take as much pressure off of Bryce Young as possible, putting it on Chuba Hubbard, who has continually played well these last few weeks. We're going to rely on him a lot today. And against this Seahawks offense, we need our defense to bounce back. 2 really bad games. Christopher Riles, a solid quarterback, and of course at running back, Kenneth Walker III. We've done well in stopping the run. We're going to have to do that yet again. But the biggest need for us is our defensive backs to step up. Passing game has been awful for us, and this is a extremely well-developed and deep wide receiver core, with the top 3 being very good receivers. Nothing really fancy at tight end. They have a pretty solid offensive line, average to maybe slightly above. We also just played against the Colts, who have the best offensive line. We did pretty well. Their defensive line, they have one really good guy in Tim Horn, solid guy in Montgomery, and then you get to the second level, the linebackers. Again, pretty solid. And they still have their cornerstone DBs, Devin Witherspoon, Tyreek Woolen, both in the 90s, and at strong safety, Jamal Adams, still holding at a pretty good overall considering he's in his 10th season. And at free, they have a rookie in Jeremy Peel. Now in this one, we will be without Rashad Bateman. He had a practice injury, turf toe. That's going to give more time for Faust, but it also is a good game to miss, as we are going to go heavy with the run game. So with us now into the second half of the season, and this division still within reach despite a 3-6 start. We've got to start putting together some good games now. Let's get this NFC battle underway as Ford has us booted off here. Shields back to return, but he will take the knee. We had to travel a good distance here for this away game across the entirety of the U.S. So it would be a shame to not come out here and put up some big plays. We start on defense as they motion over their tight end to the right-hand side, make that a pretty heavy side. Kenneth Walker starts them off and barely makes it by the line of scrimmage. McCullough does well there to shed the block. Edwards comes down. They tag team for the stop. 2nd and 9. But now a trip set to the left-hand side. Looking to throw the ball and nearly finding Smith and Jigba. And St. Just, who did finally get that pick last game. He knocks it away, leaving 3rd and 9. They look to air out the ball yet again, driving it across the middle, and DK's not holding on to that one. KO'd as Stockton comes in. It's a strong start from the defense, and they could head off the field as the offense heads out. Still a lot of eyes on them after their last performance. Some good mixed in with a good bit of bad. As we start Chuba Hubbard, he picks up 3. And it was definitely known after last game that we should have went Chuba Hubbard's way a lot more. Only 12 carries in that game, and only 4 of those in that first half. And with 2 straight carries to start us off, you can tell we're definitely changing that up. 3rd and 4, we do have an RPO dialed up here. Hill as an option. And as they bring the blitz, we will get it out to Hill, who will pick up the first down in a late little bump there from Peel, but the refs will allow it. While obviously focusing on the run, we're still going to throw the ball a little bit. We got too many weapons to not. As we do pick up some good blocks, Faust gets down the field. He picks up a good one, and we pick up 15 in the process. Don't get me wrong, I love Bateman, but Faust, he gets blocks downfield, something that Bateman doesn't always. As we come out with a tight shotgun look here, a little play action off of all the rushing. We got Hill, and that is why we're not looking to pass the ball. At least not at the same rate as we did last week. For some reason, Young, he just can't hit an open pass despite having really good accuracy ratings, but there goes Barry down the sideline. Good blocking, an easy rush of 14. Always gotta love when you give your power back so much space. We keep Barry out there for 1st and 10 at the 24. As he bounces to the outside, great, again, Faust down the field, constantly picking up blocks. We pick up another big chunk down to the 7. Honestly, would not be surprised if Faust was a tight end in his former life. As we're goal to go here, we spread wide, though, looking for Chuba Hubbard on the screen. Make one guy miss, he does. He'll pick up about 3. And that might just be about what we limit the throwing to be today. Just short, quick slants, or even take the screens as Chuba Hubbard caps off the drive. That is what we need from the offense. Heavy focus on the run game, and just hit your throws with Young. The first 2 drives here, near perfect recipes for success, and let's see if we can keep that up. Seahawks offense out as they start with Kenneth Walker down the middle. He will pick up 3. Stingy run defense is what we've been best at this year. Going to look to continue that, and a good help to that has been the rookie in Bates. Flagged down almost immediately. Cash gets the tackle on Riles, and it's a holding call as well. All around a bad play there for the Seahawks. They lose 1, and we decline the penalty, so we make it 3rd and 8 as they go spread empty. They have their tight end, and he gets there just before Newsome able to turn. And ball comes out a split second later, and it's either a pick or we're heading off the field in either way. But instead, Seahawks drive continue as it's just another short gain from Kenneth Walker. 2nd and 9, they look to air it out to Kenneth Walker, picking up a block from Dulcich, but not gonna find the first. 3rd and 3. Doing what we can here to make things as difficult as possible. Force them to make the big plays. As it's a check here from Riles. He's got 3 to the right-hand side, 1 to the left. As they go downfield, it's too far out in front for us to get a hand on it. Diving catch brings it in at the 18. Seahawks find their first big play. Has them down to the red zone now. With a 2 tight end set to the right-hand side, though they sit back in shotgun. Look for some play action. Dulcich in the corner, and he holds on to it. Seahawks with a great answer to our previous score. We got a tie game yet again. Those kind of plays, they're going to happen. Those kind of drives. The Seahawks, just as we have a lot of good players, we just have to keep answering. As we start with Barry, not Hubbard, down the middle, it's a short gain of 2. And we will definitely see a heavy rotation today with us relying so much on the running game as Chuba comes out here for the final play of the first quarter. Opens up down the middle. Chuba Hubbard slips 1. Will get us up to the 39 as we head to the 2nd. All in all, a pretty good start to this game. A good battle in Seattle. As we officially start the 2nd quarter now, we come out with 2 spread either side. A little bit of Aldridge going to see some playing time. He's the rookie for us. Drafted him late in the draft. Give the juke behind Richards, and we'll pick up yet another first. Chuba at 6 carries, 50 yards, and the touchdown. As we look to throw the ball here, we got Hill with some space to the outside. Gets the juke on the corner, and will get out as Jamal Adams escorts him. Once again, keeping with the theme of the passing today. It's going to be short and quick. Hopefully that will keep Young building some momentum, get the trust back in his arm, whatever he needs. as we don't get Barry to the outside there. Boston beat by Young. And if we are going to rely so much on the running game, we do need the tight ends to chip in well. 2nd and 13. They bring some pressure. We get the halfback screen out. We got some blocks downfield as Chuba gets close to the first down. Good open field tackle from 28. That'll definitely make things much more manageable here with the short down and distance as Barry comes out here with the shotgun set down the middle. They bring the pressure and Bush stuffs it. And we definitely cost ourselves forcing some 2-point tries. So we're going to take the field goal here. At least put us up. This one from the 35. It is good. It's by no means a flashy score, but it's 2 straight drives with points, and it puts us back in front as the Seahawks look for a quick play themselves. DK maybe looking for a little bit of some revenge after the big hit last time. He ends up rumbling over some players, picking up 6 along the way as they look for Dulcich again. He finds the catch and another first down. 6 completions for Riles so far, half of which going to Dulcich. We got to make sure we do better against the tight ends. Early movement here. Look like the guards and the DTs both move. But the call is going to go against the Seahawks. So back them up. 1st and 15 as they go 2 spread either side. Dulcich to that right side as they will look to air out the ball. Quick pass knocked out by St. Just. We are all hands on deck for the coverage as it has been really poor the last few weeks. Downfield now it's St. Just getting beat by DK. It's a foot race and he's by the diving brothers. We've given up a lot of deep ball touchdowns. That's another one to the tally. But when you play the aggressive style of defense we do, it can happen. Offense, we need an answer as we're now down 14-10. Chuba takes the stretch, instead turns it to a dive. He picks up 8. Already racking up a lot of carries in this one as we're about 3.5 minutes from halftime. Roll, get this over the top, diving catch from Hill. The crafty vet continues to show that athleticism. 1st and 10 force just shy of midfield. As we go back to Chuba, tries to find a small gap to squeeze through. He picks up 4. Now where we may eventually run into trouble is where they continue to stack the box like they do here, and we don't find those lanes. Chuba will pick up nearly the first down, 3rd and 1. While this game goes along, we got to make sure that we continue to change up the runs, the formations. Keep them guessing as Barry looks for the cut, open spaces, 1st down. And that will carry us inside the 2-minute warning. Now as we head out, one thing we could do to try to help keep that running lanes open is RPOs. We have one dialed up here, and we swing it out to Hill. He almost caught it 3 times. He also almost got picked off of his face. The limited times that we do pass it, we can't afford to have something like that happen. 2nd and 10. Hard count, no one moves. Look for another quick throw. We've got Boston open. It's a miss by Young. Not sure what has gotten into him. Maybe we need to send him to a third-party doctor. See if there's something wrong with that shoulder. But we do look to air out the ball here. Rolling, got to find someone open as we look for the kind of throw underneath. We find Hubbard, and on top of it, Devin Bush is shaken up. For the Seahawks, it's a double bad plays. He actually has to head off the field. 1st and 10 for us. We continue our drive as we hand it off. Chuba down the middle. Great open field tackle by Peel. He's been a pretty sure tackler today, but we do pick up 6 in the process. Once again, going back to the RPO. This time, they stick on the cover guys. We'll hand it off, pick up the 1st down. These kind of plays not exactly going to drop them out of the box, but it's going to spread them out a little bit. Provide some interior rushing lanes as Barry gets clogged up in those lanes. Not quite able to bounce it that time. Leaves us about 44 seconds left before halftime. Making a check at the line as we look to throw. Young trying to buy some time, wait for someone to come open as he throws the ball straight to Witherspoon. Throw it on the outside where your receiver is. It's a 50-50 ball in which it's probably actually slightly better in your favor. That, 100% pick. Of course, didn't quite help that Boston was coming back towards the middle, but either way, Expect more from Young. He's definitely in the hot seat. That is for sure. With whatever options we have, Daniel Jones just waiting for his time as St. Juice kept running instead of pulling up for the ball. That's bad in both playing the ball and the receiver, as both were behind him. Big gain up for the Seahawks, getting him to around the 40 as they look to continue airing out the ball, this time headed towards the sideline and well out of bounds. We need to make sure we don't give up any points here before half. 14-10 is the score as we're about 15 seconds and counting. They go Walker, who shakes through one. He's got space to the outside. Newsome coming in, will drag him down, but they've got a timeout if they choose to use it, and they will. Very poor play for the defenses. They were looking to just run it into halftime there. Instead, field goal makes it a touchdown game at half. And with the limited amount of plays that we have even given to Young, those are really the big difference in this one. He's still finding ways to bury the team. So we'll see what the coach decides coming out of halftime. But as we take a look around the league, I would surely love to see some of our rivals drop games, and that's exactly what we see here with the Buccaneers. 28-7, at least the Colts, they help us out this week. But as for the second game, not in division, but it is a rivalry here, and it's a big dub for the Cowboys, 34-10. So far, all these games have been blowouts. But will the final one be as well? Saints go up to New York, and they pull off the close win. 24-21, they pull themselves to 500. And that's the same mark we're looking to get to as we head out to start the second half. It is not Bryce Young out with the offense. It is Daniel Jones. And a loss of 2 on first down. Jones has only started one game for us this year. It was a close game, a pretty good battle, but it was one of our losses. Hopefully he can get this team moving as we go with the Chuba Hubbard halfback screen. We pick up a good amount, leaving 3rd and 2. The official stat will mark that as a gain of 10. But we need at least 2 more here. They bring the blitz. Chuba Hubbard down the middle, kept those legs moving and will keep us moving. And we'll see how much Steve Smith Sr. ends up opening up the passing game with a new quarterback out there. Might just have some feelers as Chuba cannot get by the linebacker. We're definitely going to need something. Now, one thing to note coming out of halftime, Devin Bush has yet to return, so him coming back into this one is unlikely as the blitz goes straight through the line. Not exactly the biggest welcome for Daniel Jones so far, as he's got 3rd and long here. First down is about the 48. We're at the 32. As he throws, he's got Murray, who brings it in. The young speedster, primarily a returner with a splash receiving play. I'll keep this drive moving, and it's great to see him make a play because some were wondering if he was going to be the new slot receiver before we signed Tyreek Hill. Now Chuba Hubbard with some space. Big first down yet again inside the 30. He's already racked up more rushes today than he had in the entire game last week. Close to 100 yards, but we sub him out. Barry comes in as we look for the weak side stretch. We've got to start sealing these outside blocks. With a heavy run game, we can't afford too many negative plays. 2nd and 11. Tight shotgun look here as we do look to air out the ball. We got Hill to the outside. He stays in. He gets picked up, slammed down, but he makes it 3rd and inches. Gotta love all these little downs that we've had here and there. New formation. Triple tight end set to the left-hand side. As we go, Chuba. He picks up some good blocks. Slips by 1, but not getting by 46. Well, he does put him over the century mark in this one. 102 as we keep the same look. Go a little bit of some play action. Just need someone to get open. Coming across, Tyreek Hill. It is a passing touchdown for Daniel Jones as Bryce Young sits on the sideline. Now with that, we do tie this game up. Need to continue working in that positive direction here. Good plays from the defense would be great as they essentially have 2 fullbacks as they motion over their actual true fullback. Down the middle goes Walker, but going nowhere. away this time. Provides the big hit. 2nd and 11. Following the TFL as they go with the heavy set. Trying to get Walker, though. He looks for the cutback lane. He finds it, but Hodgins, he keeps step for step. That's always been one thing Hodgins, I think, has been better at than Stockton. Stockton very aggressive in his tackling form. Oftentimes overruns plays as Walker is left open and the speed might carry him back in front. Lone man coverage that time. Someone got lost across the middle. Once again, offense, we are trailing, chasing, as we start with Chuba Hubbard again on the screen. Try to pick up some blocks, and we do a decent job of it. Gain of 8. Daniel Jones, 5 of 5 on his throwing attempts so far today. Hopefully that number continues trending well. But it's the backside rush with the stop on 2nd. And that's again, we're having some RPOs will kind of force that guy to sit. 3rd and 3, we do draw up one of those RPOs, and we'll stick with the run. Chuba Hubbard edges out the first down. Running game is doing well today. It's keeping this game afloat for us. We need some from the passing game just to try to open things up a little bit, as we got Hill at the sideline. Great recovery from Jamal Adams. That ball needed to be there about a second earlier. 8 seconds left here in the 3rd. Back to that RPO. We'll hand it off. The linebacker sucked in for some reason. Opens it up for a gain of 7. And will send us to the 4th quarter. This one has been a great battle back and forth. But our offense, we need to retie this game up. And defense, we need a stop. Daniel Jones has an opportunity to become a legend around here with a win today. As they bring the blitz, Chuba Hubbard still picks up the first, and they blitz the right gap. Just utilize that speed, that explosiveness to get by him. 1st and 10. We got 2 to the left, 1 to the right-hand side. Just look for something quick as we roll. We got Tyreek, throw a little bit behind him, but it's catchable. These receivers making adjustments on these throws. And honestly, that started to become something they weren't doing for Bryce Young. They might have just been tired of his play. As we go with the pulling guard, it opens things up. Get some blocks downfield or get stuck behind Boston. It's still a big gain for us down to the 23, 133 yards for Chuba. I know for sure he's going to be hitting the ice bath after this game. He's taken some big hits, but we need him to take a few more here for us as he has some space to the outside. The throw, not perfect, but it was catchable. Unfortunately, looked like Hubbard heard the footsteps. Doesn't squeeze it. 2nd and 10, we keep with the same look. As they bring the blitz, we get Chuba to the outside, trying to spin by the tackle attempt. He doesn't. But if he did, it would have been a great play. Instead, 3rd and 11. We got a bunch to the right-hand side. Boston lone to the left. Got to pick up something here. We got Tyreek. Not sure what happened on that throw, but it came up nowhere close. Once again, having to settle for a field goal in this one as Ford comes on out. This will at least keep it a touchdown winnable game. That's going to require the defense pick up a quick stop. Their last really good drive was the first of the game, where we forced that 3 and out. They start with a quick dump off Dulcich, who splits the defenders and picks up way more than it should have been. Gain of 8. If anything, it should have been flipped and just been a gain of 2, leaving them needing 8. But not the case. As they come out with a heavy set, we bring the blitz. They quick throw, and no way is that DPI. But that's what the ref is going to call. It's a very unfortunate call there, one that this team is not unfamiliar with. We've gotten plenty of those throughout our time here. As Walker looks to get to the outside, we quickly meet him, gain of 3. And we just need someone on this defense to make the big play. Pistol set here for the Seahawks. His strong pistol, to be more precise, as they look to throw the ball to the flat. They find their fullback with a decent gain, bringing up a 3rd and short. Riles has been pretty accurate today on his throws, just 3 incomplete passes, as they will find another one by the diving attempt of St. Just. Smith and Jigba keeps their drive going. About field goal range here for him, you would at least think, as they go with the read option. Hartwell meets him. Great play, loss of 2. I've said it multiple times, if there was a way to have 3 linebackers play, we would. We run deep at that spot. 2nd and 12. They look to set up the halfback screen to Walker. In flows Hodgins to slow him down, but it's not enough. First down for Kenneth Walker III. This running clock and getting into touchdown range here now at the 25. We bring the blitz and Bates forces the fumble. The rookie comes through. Owe jumps on top of it. That is the play we were desperate for. Left unblocked. The rookie DT we took in the first round. Biggest play of his career so far. We're just under 3 minutes left. We need some big plays. As Jones looks to rumble, he picks up 4. Get back to the line quickly here. Now they have a single high safety. Try to take advantage of that, though they are playing off coverage here. So let's not get too greedy. We've got time, we've got timeouts, but we need a touchdown as Chuba now fumbles. Seahawks pick it up. We might need a second look here to see if the butt was down. I sure hope it was. But no booth review comes in, and we can't afford to possibly lose a timeout, so it's back to the defense to get a stop here for us. As it's down the field, and it's DK. As Newsome, I couldn't tell if he slipped, if he thought he could dive and swat it. But it's now a 2-score lead for the Hawks. And now we're going to be forced to throw it. Really unfortunate that Chuba Hubbard has that fumble, because he was playing so well up until then. Though he has space to the outside here, he gets the catch that time. Or not, they're saying he didn't get the second foot in. Just these little things stacking against us. We're going to send Boston straight downfield here. Try to open some things up. See if he can get the inside leverage or the pick to seal the game. So even in the game that we try to take the quarterback out of as much as possible, they still come back to bite us. Chuba Hubbard had a great game. Unfortunately, that fumble is going to be a stain on it. Defense, we also need them to start picking things up. And I think this game makes it pretty clear that this team is in a weird funk. They can't get out of their own way. The plays are sitting there right in front of them, and they're just not doing what they need to do. Christopher Riles, a great performance in this one. Just let things happen as they develop. Delivered some good passes. Daniel Jones and Bryce Young both did not have a great performance out there. We'll see who gets the starting spot next time, and you can definitely put your thoughts down below on who you do think should get the start between these two quarterbacks. Did Chuba Hubbard, we relied a lot on him, and he did so well outside of that one play. And it was a close one. Couldn't quite tell if the ball was starting to move right before the butt hit the ground, but at that point in the game, we could not afford to challenge and possibly lose a timeout that we may have needed. Maybe we should have, and who knows? There's always the what ifs after the game. But he was also doing pretty well in the receiving game. He made some big plays. Tyreek made some big plays. But at the end, we could not stop the big offensive plays with our defense. They've got to fix that. They're getting, I think, a little too aggressive and playing underneath. We are just an aggressive defense. Press, blitz, man coverage, and for some reason this year we're just getting beat on it. More so than in any year prior. But that is talking a whole lot about bad things that happened in this game. I want to shout out rookie DT Carlos Bates. He's played really well this year. He nearly made the play to get us back into this game with that sack fumble. Unfortunately, we then also fumbled, and the turnovers continue to be a problem for us. But right now, we need Newsome and we need St. Juice to get back to the top of their game. But right now, I think the biggest question is at quarterback in this team's future and what we decide to do as Bryce Young is in a contract year. Last season, we decided to give him that 5th year option, and it is a pretty big chunk of money that he's holding right now, and he is not been worth that money. He's been out for half the season with injury, and while he's played, well, he maybe had one good game that made him worth that money. The rest of them, I wouldn't say so. And it would only make sense for us to do our due diligence this offseason and see what our quarterback options are in the draft. Or do we hope that Bryce Young bounces back? Do we look for maybe making trades? There are options. Now, in this class, it's a pretty small quarterback class. You have 3 players projected top 5. 1 in Aaron Bolden, a round 1 to 2, and then everyone else is day 3. And just looking at the top options here, the only one that would fit current scheme, it looks like, would be Aaron Bolden, as he is that scrambler type. But maybe we just change the scheme entirely. We have a lot of deep threat receivers, so down the field accuracy is a must. And we have 2 quarterbacks here who at least have the potential for that A down the field. Howie Winkler, A to C. Taylor Herndon does have that A. So if we go to compare these two, Winkler is 22 years old, 6'5", 233, and he has marginal to decent speed, but with great to elite throw power. So he definitely is going to have that cannon of an arm. Medium accuracy is a B. We're just not certain on the deep, and the short is B to a D. Hopefully that would be a B. Injury is a concern as a D. As for Taylor Herndon, he's also 22 years old, 6'5", 234. So essentially, you got the same build. He's out of Mississippi State, and he has poor to marginal speed, so even less. He's a pure pocket passer, still with that great to elite throw power. Accuracies, we know A for deep. As for short, C to an F, so that might be even worse. Medium, A to a C. So there's a large range here, but no one necessarily looks like they're going to be generational. And we know the ratings of Young. They're really good. We're just not seeing that play. So we'll continue to tweak things throughout this year and see if we can course correct. So with that being said, we head into another set of rivalry games. Saints and Buccaneers. Buccaneers atop the division 5-5, though the Saints also 5-5. Falcons 4-5. We swept them this year. We're still 2 games behind the rest of the opponents, and we could very much still swing things this year. Playoffs are still a potential, despite how bad the season has been. It would be all thanks to the divisional rule, so we'll see if we can make something crazy happen as we move forward. So make sure you don't miss it. Hit that bell icon on the bottom right, or scroll down, hit the sub button, and tap that bell icon so you do not miss whatever shenanigans this team has in store for us. We'll be back again on Friday, as this series every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and the state-only challenge tomorrow, every Tuesday and Thursday, as we go through possibly the full second half of Season 2 for the Marylavania States-only challenge. And who knows, again, who's starting at quarterback here as we host the Saints.